Hello everyone, it's Ghost, your friendly neighborhood DM. So I'm going to do a little bit of an introductory video here that's going to tell you a little bit about our campaign and how it works. This is the character you'll be interacting with as well as with Zazzy's character, Tao. This is Tui. And I'm just kind of running us along a path here now. This is the path we've taken so far to get where we're going to. Now this video is mostly for our new people. It's going to be going over how the campaign works, what kind of things you can do in the campaign, as well as some general expectations and other things. It gets a little bit crowded and a lot of people, so we try and make this work smoothly, and instead of typing it all out, I figured I'd just put everything in here now. And if you have any questions, of course, reply, and one of us will answer your questions as soon as possible. So I'm still going along here now. We go all the way down. Here's where we've been after about 3 campaign nights. We ended up down here. So while I'm traveling down there, let's first go over the basics of the campaign. So in the campaign, you of course are your character, and you're with Voyage for whatever we've been contracted on. This campaign in particular, they've been contracted to take Tao and Tui to Booty Bay. Now there's a lot more to it, but I'll keep it brief here just for the sake of time. So, your character's been contracted and hired, you've gotten your mission, and they're on their way. Now, most campaigns are going to have, of course, stipulations on them and things like that. This campaign in particular is going to be focusing on survival. So we're going to be carrying a wagon that's got food, water, camping supplies, other things, and the group needs to manage those resources appropriately, or if they run out, severe injury or death could occur. Now, there are no training wheels on any of our campaigns, and your character can die at any time. However, I do want to emphasize I will never kill your character without your permission. However, if your character is in a state where I believe that they would be dying or more injured, I will bring it up to you and we will discuss the possibilities. Do not feel pressure to kill your character, of course. However, in the sake of realism here, there is chances where characters will die during these campaigns. So this is where we ended up for the night. So the way we're going to have you interact, of course, is you are going to be interacting with the environment. So you're going to see things like we have a river down here, we have this building, we've got NPC. Now typically NPCs are not going to be available to talk to or do anything with unless otherwise stated. However, use your creativity. So, for example, we were going to camp on the side of the road here, and someone suggested, hey, there looks to be an abandoned building, why don't we stay in there? When we stayed in there, we also noticed a well. Now, water is one of the resources we have to manage, so they brought up, can't we draw from the well to increase our water supply or other things? Or use the river nearby down here. Anything goes. If I decide as the DM that something does not work, of course I will tell you, but it's my job to make this game as fun and immersive for everyone, so if anytime we disagree, that is okay. It's okay to disagree with the DM. Both sides will present the argument and a decision will be made. However, I will state, of course, the DM has the final ruling. Sometimes things need to be maintained for the sake of mechanics, which is unfortunate, but it's a real part of the game. So, the meat and potatoes we're going to first get into here is going to be about combat, because that's one of the first things you're going to run into in this campaign, and you're going to run into it a lot. Campaign is not done like other people when it comes to combat. We do not have you roll dice, we don't have a weakness and strength system, nothing like that. We find that's very limiting, that you're like, oh, I'm this super badass god of war, and I'm attacking a squirrel, and I missed with my sword 3 times in a row because I rolled 1 and 1 and 1. So, to avoid that situation, be your character at all times. If you feel that you would land a blow against the opponent, I will do my best to describe their skill level or strength. Definitely roleplay it that way. If you feel like you would miss, definitely put it in there. We don't want anyone to be a super god, but we do want you to have the feeling that you can be your powerful character or however your character is. On that same point though, we may have as many people as 15 to 20 people show up to a campaign. Now, sometimes we'd be fighting 1 or 2 people. Everyone is allowed to respond. However, it doesn't always mean that we will, of course, be able to react to it. So what I do is I will cherry pick the different posts I see, and you can put in whatever you want in the top posts or the posts I feel that were the best done, or just if you haven't gotten a chance in the spotlight, I will pick those attacks as actually hitting the enemy. Other attacks are considered to be they've done damage but weren't noted. Don't feel left out, it's just due to how many people are showing up. Of course, sometimes we can't do it all. And then what'll happen is we're done in rounds. So say round one, the party's attacking a zombie. You're going to react to the zombie, say how you attacked it, everything you've done. Then, on the second part of round two, the zombie's going to attack back. Now, it might attack everyone with like an AoE, and they'll say everyone needs to react to this attack, and you react appropriately. Sometimes it may only go after one or two people, and I'll call out, XYZ, you react to this, everyone else, you do nothing. Then that round will end, and it'll say who got hurt, how much people got hurt, how much the enemy's taken damage, that sort of thing. Round two begins, it starts over at square one, you guys attack, he attacks, then it goes so on and so forth until one side loses. So it's very simple, but a couple points we always like to point out is take your blows. You will get hurt during this campaign. I don't expect anyone to come out of this campaign 100% unscathed. If you're hurt, RP your injuries out. You want to keep it realistic. For example, if you get a broken bone or your arm gets hurt very badly, it's not going to be suddenly better the next day. You're going to need to do some medical work on it, whether it be through magic or non-magic, as well as you may not be using that arm as well. Also factor in other things. Our characters are sleeping in shifts. They may be weary and tired, and other things that can cause you not to perform at your best. Please try to keep all that in mind as much as possible. So that's a little bit how the combat works. Now, of course, like I said, feel free to incorporate anything you want into it, and if anything's too far-fetched or anything goes outside of what can happen, the DM, of course, will pop in. We do not like to see any sort of god modding. Never tell me how a monster is going to react for sure. Now, the difference between telling me how it's going to react or telling me how it should react is minor, but it's important. If you throw a smoke bomb down on the zombie, you can tell me, hey, the zombie might be blinded by this, or it would cause him to have problems breathing, or he can't see the party. That is fine, but don't say in your emote that the zombie is now blinded and cannot see. You don't know that for sure. The DM is going to, of course, decide that, so that's very important there. Another important thing about the party and the campaign is going to be campaign nights. So, for example, we were sleeping in here one night, and we've got a lot of people with us. It's a small space. A lot of people are going to be RPing. Now, the goal is, of course, you want to RP with everyone. You want to build your stories. You want to develop your relationships. That's all very important. However, in a small space like this, that many people talking, posts do get ignored. They do get missed. It happens. Please, please, please ensure that if that happens, do not take it out on someone, do not get angry, do not complain about it. Rather, poke the person, say, whisper to them, hey, I posted this, did you catch that, did you see that? It's important that we keep it nice, mature, and friendly when this sort of environment. People aren't meaning to ignore your post, they're not meaning to miss it, there's just a lot going on. On that same note, you may not get the best ARP experience every single night. A lot of characters, for example, we had one who was very story driven, he was very in character. He didn't feel it would be appropriate for the whole party to be in here, so he did what his character would do best, which was stand outside here and watch out for anyone coming in or coming out, any sort of thing like that. Now, that's being in character, but know that some people choose not to come out and join you, and it might be your duty to stand out there that night. Now, if that happens, me, Emily, or one of our officers will try to engage you because we want everyone to have RP and everyone to have fun, but do know that it's not always 100% possible. We're going to do our best to be managing it. So that's it for this first video about how the campaign kind of works, how you're going to be expected to be interacting with everything in combat. We hope to see you this weekend.